Okay, after I miserably failed in finishing this problem in the 10 o'clock class, so I went to my office and licked my wound, swallowed my pride, and I'm going to make a 5-minute presentation and show you what I did wrong, that it was not working. So I actually backtrack all the way to the place where I created these assembly constraints. Then I went to the digital mockup, DMU kinematics, and got the magic wand out. New mechanism, mechanism one, auto create, and OK. And the next thing that I did in class, I said that the spherical joint is created, which really doesn't serve a purpose. I'm going to delete it. Although it's possible to leave it there, but I'm going to delete it. But I'm not going to delete the children in case I ever need those constraints. Now, so degree of freedom is 1. And notice that this is the place where I said I have not used any universal joint here. This is the stuff that we did in the first three weeks of the course after the midterm. So I can go to the, for example, the shaft and orientation makes this thing angle driven, 0 to 360. 0 to 360, say OK. And it says mechanism can be simulated. And you can check that manually by clicking on simulation with command, and everything will move. Now, you already saw this in both the 8:30 class and the 10 o'clock class. However, I said that, well, what have I done that's new here? Because none of these involved a universal joint. So I deleted this cross pin. Anything that dealt with the cross pin, I deleted. Look at children. And this guy deleted. Not the children. And then I went and did a universal joint here. See that? A universal joint right there. Click on it. The mistake that I made was selecting these orientation line. I have to select these axis of the cylinder. See that? Not this. The axis of the cylinder. Right there. Solid shaft. And for the second one, do not select orientation. Select the axis of the cylinder. The mistake that I made in both 8:30 and 10 o'clock class for the spin 2, I was selecting this orientation, whereas it should have been the cylinder, the axis of the cylinder. And this is fine. Leave these things the way they are. Say OK. And it says degree of freedom is 0. Mechanism can be simulated. And automatically, this thing was created by itself. I didn't do that. This was created. So you can see this. When I drag this, the two shafts will rotate according to the way they're supposed to, but the pin stays stationary. Okay? So there. At least here, I have used a universal joint. That was the sole purpose of this lab. Now, if you don't want to see the pin, if it's bothering you, you can always hide it. Wait a minute, where's the pin? Right there. Hide it. Okay? And then basically, it's as if I didn't have the pin there. And I said, this may be fine if you're not interested in the stress distribution in the pin. Then the purpose of the pin is basically to transfer the motion. If this universal joint icon does that, then you don't really need that. So once again, the mistake that I made in both classes is that for these directions, I should have selected the axis of the shaft, the original one, and the instance of it. I was inadvertently selecting the orientation line. Okay? So I'm sorry.